So, hello.
Hi.
Hello. It's very nice to have you here. It's very much right. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and how your journey with Sanvimed began?
Well, my name's Lorraine. I currently live in Scotland, in the Scottish borders, which is a beautiful part of the world. And my journey to Sanvimed was actually a bit of a calmer moment. Back in March, I'd already decided that I wanted to go to somewhere in Europe to have hip replacement surgery because of the waiting times. And I started to draw up a shortlist. And by chance, one day, I met a friend of mine and I was telling him about it. And he said, "Oh, you want to speak to my mother-in-law? She went to this fantastic place in Poland about 2 years ago. She had the most wonderful time. I'll put you in touch." She did a blog. And he did. And really the rest is history. I asked her so many questions. Poor woman. But, yes, she really was the one who convinced me that this was the place to come.
So, word of mouth.
Word of mouth. The former patient who I didn't even know.
So when you decided, right?
Yeah.
When you first decided to seek treatment abroad, what were your biggest concerns or fears you might have had, and how did Sanvimed, how we help you ease them in our initial contact?
Yes. I mean, obviously, when you're going abroad, you want to know that are all the EU standards met? Are they accredited? Am I going to be dealt with by people who can speak sufficient English that if I am in so much pain, somebody could understand and help me? So I did a lot of research. It isn't something that you make a decision very lightly about. So I had a big Excel spreadsheet and I had many columns under each different hospital that I was considering. And I filled it in and worked my way through to make sure that I was going somewhere where I was going to be safe, I was going to be looked after properly, and I was going to come out in the best possible shape.
Yes. You went, you said that you had your right or left hip replaced?
My right.
Your right one, right? And how did it feel before the surgery, and how do you feel now?
Well, before the surgery, I couldn't walk more than about 100 meters without being in so much pain. If I stood up to work in the kitchen, to cook a meal, a tiny movement, either left or right, and I would be, it was horrible. I was on a lot of medication, many painkillers. We tried physiotherapy. And I was very miserable and knew that I couldn't wait the year and a half that I would need to wait to get a replacement in Scotland on the NHS. How do I feel now? It's life-changing, absolutely life-changing, and I feel wonderful. I feel like I'm like 2 years younger.
Right. So I suppose there is still some soreness.
Yes.
But the pain, the cause of the pain, wait.
From the minute I came round from the procedure, I didn't have hip pain. That was it. That had gone. And it was replaced with obviously pain from the surgical site, muscle stiffness, muscle cramps, just recovery from quite a major operation. But I always went into that knowing that every day that was going to get less and less and less.
Sure.
Whereas the hip pain was only going to get more and more and more.
Yes. You were talking about your spreadsheet, right?
Yes.
And I suppose that one of the things on the spreadsheet, one of the items would be physiotherapy, right? Because here in Sanvimed, you get 2 weeks of it, right? After surgery. Can you share with us how that impacts the whole process?
Well, on my spreadsheet, Sanvimed had the longest option for doing physiotherapy. Other places ranged from 10 days, one was 8 days. One wanted to put you in a vehicle after 2 days of surgery and drive you for an hour and a half to go to another clinic. And the thing that I chose above all was the fact I could have the physiotherapy here. I only had to be in my room. I could go and have physiotherapy. I can come back to my room. Everyone around me is the same. I'm not having to deal with new people, try and remember names.
There's no stress.
There is no stress.
And from what I know, the physiotherapists also come to your room, right?
They do.
Yes.
They start off in the room and get you just doing basic things, how to get out of bed safely, how to get yourself to the bathroom, what not to do. And a lot of the what not to do will be with me forever. So I've really taken it to heart. But once you're more mobile, you then go to their room and the physiotherapy level increases, but at your speed.
Yes. So your needs come first.
Absolutely, yes.
So can you share a moment when you felt especially cared for or supported by the Sanvimed team, right? In the hour of need, I suppose, right?
Yes, absolutely. I have quite a restricted diet and I eat a lot of fruit at home. And I'd written on the breakfast menu, plus fruit, and put a smiley face, hoping somebody might pick up on it. And the nurse the next day arrived with this tray with bowls of different fruits. I've never seen as much fruit. But I just thought, well, that was such a kind thing. That was somebody who'd worked out that would make me happy.
Yes, little things, right?
It is always the little things. It's never the big things. The surgery, the surgeon, absolutely fantastic. They came, they met me, they checked up on me. But it's the day-to-day care that has been given by the nursing team, the physiotherapy team, the lady who does the cleaning. Everybody always has a smile for you, a word. So, yeah, it's been great.
Even if they don't speak very good English, as some people may fear, right? They always try to engage nonetheless.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yes. And I did try and learn a couple of words of Polish. Wasn't always very good, but
Added experience.
yes.
So from the moment you arrived, how did we take care of you and make you feel safe, comfortable, and supported throughout your stay?
Well, I was met at the airport by a driver that you had arranged. Mm-hmm. And he was there with a board with my name on it. And he brings me straight here. And then Mariusz is standing at the desk and he meets me and he just says, welcome to Sanvimed. We want you to be part of our family. And that really is how I have felt. I mean, when I was dealing with you and all the questions that I asked you, endless questions about, the type of implant, things you wouldn't know about, but you were so patient and you went away and you found out all the answers and you always responded to the emails. So.
Yes, I mean, so, on the one hand, it's the business side, right? Because we want to have acquired a patient, right? But on the other hand, it's like, it's a human thing to do, right? Why wouldn't I try to give you as many answers as you want, right?
Yes.
I mean, we are just two humans exchanging ideas, and why wouldn't I do that, right? But it's also the thing that lots of people forget to do, right? So we're as a women hoping to bring it back.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe your communication with the doctors and the staff in here? Did you feel understood and listened to? I know we've covered that, but could you recount that, please? Yes.
Absolutely. Even with people, like the lady, but it's always, thumbs up or I use my one word of Polish on her, and she always sort of thanks me for that. But people have listened, and if I haven't understood something with the physiotherapy, it's been explained to me again or shown to me again. So I've been very impressed.
Very glad to hear it. And if you could refer to your previous experiences in life, right? So what makes the care at Sanvimed different, or a bit better in a way from your previous medical experiences?
I have my own room. Sometimes I'm the only patient. So last weekend, this weekend, there was only me, other than when they came in for physiotherapy and the nurses here. So you get used to being really looked after properly. If I ring the buzzer, somebody comes immediately. I can't guarantee that that will happen in a hospital in the UK. You are in a big ward of maybe 8, 10 beds. There are too few staff and they are too busy. Not that they don't care, but they are just overwhelmed.
Yes. NHS hospital. In
NHS.
a private one, it might be different, but it's
Yes.
more expensive.
I did go and investigate a private hospital in Edinburgh, and I'm sure that the surgeon was absolutely brilliant. But he would have operated on the Wednesday, and I would have gone home on the Friday with a sheet of paper for physiotherapy. And I knew from the minute I'd started to do the investigations that the physiotherapy to me was as important as the actual surgery. You've got a good surgeon doing a good job. Why would you not have good physiotherapy to get you back on your feet stronger and quicker?
Is that so? Do you feel validated for thinking that after the physio that you got here?
Sorry.
I mean, do you feel that you were right in that regard?
Absolutely. And I would say to anybody, if you're going to go abroad, make sure you're going to get the physiotherapy. You'll never, ever regret it.
Yes. Okay. And to wrap it up, how has your life changed after your treatment here, both physically and emotionally? You said about a lot of things about physically. That the pain went away straight away, right? But how about your emotional side, right? Because I imagine it must have been a bit of a distressed situation at home, right? When it was big, right?
I think, yes, I think at home it was very hard for my husband to see me in so much pain. I couldn't drive for the last month because I couldn't put sufficient pressure through my leg without it being too painful. So he was driving me everywhere, so I could carry on working. I chose, though, to come here on my own and left him at home. So I've done this whole thing by myself, mainly because I think he wouldn't be able to do anything to help me when I was in the worst of the pain post-operative. And I would then be worrying about him instead of focusing on me getting better. So, I mean, thank goodness for the internet. I FaceTime him twice a day. I speak to our children. Everything is messages constantly. But emotionally, I feel far stronger now.
Oh, so one extra question. You mentioned children. Weren't they a bit overprotective when you decided to go abroad to get a surgery?
No.
Funnily enough.
No, they know that I would do nothing without knowing having all my information. We call it getting all your ducks in a row.
Yes.
So they knew that I wouldn't do anything unless I was absolutely 100% convinced it was the right thing to do. So, and they trust me to make the right decision.
Very good. So, what would you say to someone who is far from Rome and considering trusting Sanvimed with their health?
I would say go for it. Do your investigation, do look at other places, but for the care and the support, the quality of the surgeon and the fantastic physiotherapy that I have had for the last, I've actually had, I think it's 14 days of physiotherapy. Please go for it. You will never regret it.
Thank you very much, and you can find all our details at the end of this clip, this interview. Thank you very much. I'm wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
And we hope you to see you again in better circumstances. Thank you.
You're really welcome.
Thank you.